Welcome everyone to Riot Rumble, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca. I'm your host Justin. With me today, as always, is my co-host Dan. Dan, we're back.
On, buddy?
Yes, how are you doing?
Good to be back.
Good.
We haven't been back for a while.
I know. It's been way too long, but we're finally back.
Awesome.
As we approach finally the Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
I think every single day in the wrestling world for the last couple of weeks, there's been just new advances about this pay-per-view. And now finally, in the final week, we probably have the biggest news yet, as on SmackDown, the final boss came back out of nowhere.
I thought the biggest news was that you are going to Elimination Chamber in Toronto.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I will be there no matter what. I'm so excited.
Hyped.
Yeah, I'm going with my brothers and my dad, and now there's a lot to talk about. So, obviously, the headline is The Rock. We'll get to that later on. But, yeah, what do we have so far for this pay-per-view?
Let's just hop into the matches. So, right off the bat, our first match we're going to talk about, this might not be in the correct order, but this is how we're going to talk about it. We got Tiffany Stratton, Trish Stratus, Canadian, versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
Yes. Oh my God, I did not know this was happening until SmackDown. I must have missed this. Yeah.
Brought to you by Hot and Spicy and Fortnite OG.
Amazing.
Shout out.
Yep.
So this will be on Netflix in Canada.
Yep.
Super excited. Loving the Netflix deal so far.
Yep.
This match is not for a title. It's just a match. These ladies seem to really hate Nia Jax. I'm not sure how this other girl got in here. Maybe you can explain.
Yeah, so what I do know is that Tiffy, Candice, and Nia Jax they all were like a faction beforehand. Okay. I guess once Tiffy turned on them, still got some bad blood. I didn't know Trish Stratus was going to be involved. Obviously, we saw her back at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. She made her return there. And now back in Toronto in her backyard, she's back. So I'm ecstatic. I think this is going to be a great 2-on-2 kind of filler match because I feel like the champions always have it, I guess, the worst at Elimination Chamber because they're not in the chamber match. So no matter what title you have, you're not going to be like in the main event, quote unquote, if you will. So the fact that Tiffy's filler match is this, I feel like that doesn't diminish her at all. And I think it's going to be a really good match for sure.
Now, I checked your LinkedIn profile before the show and you are a huge Trish Stratus fan.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Huge fan.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've met her a couple times. I have an autograph of her as well, photo with her. Yeah, she's amazing. When I went to Raw back in the day in the 2000s, she was also there. So this is like a full circle moment for me and my dad.
Recently saw her in the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Haven't seen her for a little bit before that. She's not retiring. She's just coming in and out when she wants to, I guess, because she's a legend.
Exactly. Yeah,
I know Toronto,
her last big match, I think, was against Becky Lynch.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure she beat Becky Lynch, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, kind of went back and did Canada's Got Talent and stuff like that. So I hope they win.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope Tiffy and
good.
Trish.
Looks fit. Looks like she can fight for many more years. So why not?
I feel like Candice LeRae is going to get pinned here. I don't really see Nia Jax unless there's some super move and Nia Jax takes the fall. But I think just to build her up,
I was concerned if Tiffy and Trish were even going to be able to fight after Nia Jax's finishing move the other night.
Yeah.
It was so severe.
Double Annihilator,
Botched really badly.
That whole segment had too many botches. I was watching that too, and I literally said to my girlfriend, I'm like, oh my God, like, is someone going to protect Trish? Because that did not look good at all.
Not good.
Yeah.
So, who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with Tiffy and Trish.
Yeah.
I just think the pop is going to be insane when Trish Stratus hopefully gets the 1, 2, 3 in Toronto again. So, fingers crossed.
So, Nia Jax is like a giant. She is so friggin' tall compared to the other girls. In real life, she'd probably win. But in Toronto, Trish Stratus has to win. There's no way they're bringing out Trish Stratus in Toronto, and she's not going to win.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that. Hopefully we both get that one right.
Yep, so that's what we're going with.
Yep.
Second match we're going to talk about is the unsanctioned match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
This is going to be the match of all matches.
Kevin Owens was at Sami Zayn's house, peeking in his window, looking at his wife and son. What is wrong with this guy?
I think this is a new deranged version of Kevin Owens, and that says a lot considering his character development over the past couple years.
Yep.
I think this should be their final match against each other. It definitely won't be, but we've done this song and dance so many times now, but there's just something different about this one, I feel like. And, you just brought it up. Kevin Owens is going to Sammy's house, snooping around. Like, it's taken a different turn in the rivalry for sure.
Can I just point out something? What grown man gets a dinosaur tattoo? I'm just joking. I love the dinosaur tattoo. So, Kevin Owens has gone crazy. Still stuck in my mind is the match with him and Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
I honestly think that's one of the best matches in years.
Yeah, it was a really
I've
good
rewatched
match.
that like 3 or 4 times, the highlights. That match was just incredible.
It
I don't
was.
know how neither one of them are severely injured. Kevin Owens was physically injured badly, his face. But for Cody even just to show up the next event and keep showing up and he's walking around fine, like,
yeah, it was incredible.
I don't know. There's a couple times I thought they were stopping that match because people were actually hurt, but yeah. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. This match is going to be wild.
It's going to be rough.
Unsanctioned.
Yes.
Meaning no rules. Anything can happen. There are rumors about stars who we haven't seen in a while coming back.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, we got to think about our man Randy Orton.
Yes, have to think about him.
Is Randy Orton going to come back?
That's actually a great shout.
What would happen if he did?
So I think we're gonna see a moment of Kevin Owens just brutally attacking Sami Zayn, like nothing's going right for him, and I think this will be back in the ring now for what I'm gonna say next. And then I think we're gonna have to hear Randy Orton's music play, and he's gonna have to come down. We do know that he's been out of action canonically because of Kevin Owens. I don't know how severe it actually was, but we do know in the story.
So apparently he did have something tweaked in his neck that caused like a bit of a paralysis for a bit, but like a nerve paralysis.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen him, I think, since like
December.
November, December.
It's been wild.
We haven't seen him because he got hurt because of Kevin Owens, but they were buddies. They were friends. He felt betrayed. Does Randy come back and help Kevin Owens? Does Randy come back and turn on Kevin Owens and get revenge?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I could see Kevin Owens taking an RKO and a punt kick, really and truly. If it's unsanctioned, I could see that happening. It'll just be interesting, though, because knowing Randy, he'll just attack them both. Like, Sami Zayn will get the 1, 2, 3, and then Randy will just RKO him afterwards as well. Because, like, at that point, right, no prisoners. You never know. Randy doesn't do tag teams. He does a tag team with RK Bro, and then boom, look what happens, right? Do you think Randy Orton's going to, I guess, be a heel if he comes back? Do you think?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I think we had nice, friendly, happy Randy Orton for a while, and I think we need nasty, mean Viper back for a while. So, but I don't know much if there's anything really going on between him and Sammy, if he needs to go out and help Sammy, but I think he's going after Kevin Owens.
Yeah, in terms of results, the match, I just think the same result will be Randy Orton standing tall at the end. So in terms of who wins, I actually don't know. Because I just think after the match is where the story's really going to get told.
I don't even think anyone wins this match. I think just everyone gets beat up bad, right?
Like, so I guess we're both locked.
How do you even win an unsanctioned? Is there still like a 3 count? Or
see, that it'll be interesting because usually unsanctioned refers to the person, or I guess like a superstar B in the match isn't sanctioned to fight in WWE. So it'll be like, I'm really mad at you, but Adam Pearce won't sign you, but he'll just let me fight you. So in this case, they're both WWE contracted wrestlers. So like in story, right, it's like, how do you win or lose an unsanctioned match if you're working for the company? So to my knowledge, it should just be a fight. But it could, because they're both contracted wrestlers, it might be a 1, 2, 3. So we'll have to play that one by ear.
Sounds fun. So maybe setting up Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, WrestleMania? Maybe?
Yeah, honestly, that would be the way to go. I love Sami Zayn and I love Kevin Owens together, but we've just seen it too many times. I want to see Randy Orton get Kevin Owens at Mania.
Yeah, and I think that's the next big thing. Like, Kevin, I think, deserves something big after this because he's really been the star for a couple of months now, so I think he deserves some limelight.
Yeah.
Apparently also signed a brand new contract.
Oh, he did? Nice.
Yes, so
yeah, he ain't
going anywhere. There's rumors about him going to AEW, but I think he's too important to the WWE. Awesome. So let's move on. Next match is the Women's Elimination Chamber match. We've got Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez.
This is a stacked match, if we're going to be honest here. I think outside of Tiffy, Charlotte, and Rhea, I think these are like the 6 best women across the board.
And it seems like the winner of this match is going to fight Rhea Ripley, right? It seems like that. We've already had Charlotte Flair was given the Royal Rumble and then given the match she wanted to get. And fans are not happy about that, but that's for another day.
Yes.
But it seems like we know who the winner is fighting.
Yeah. This is going to be a very good match. I think obviously like face value, you want to think Liv Morgan's going to win to get that trilogy, but like any 6 of these women could win. I'm so happy that Alexa Bliss is back and is already going to be in this match. Love seeing Roxanne Perez too from NXT, the Prodigy. Bayley, honestly, you just got to tip your hat. And then the tag team champions, they're dealing with some turmoil too, which we could get to. But yeah, honestly, I think this match is going to be really good. I think Roxanne Perez is touted to be like the dark horse of this match. And just come up from NXT, have a really good showing, probably get eliminated like second or I guess third last, and then the final 2 happen without her. But yeah, who do you think is gonna take this one?
I'm assuming Liv's gonna take it, but like, do we need to see her and Rhea Ripley again, or can that storyline like kind of draw out for longer? I'd like to see someone else win. Like we've seen them fight. They fought, they lost, they got hurt, they fought, they left. Like maybe it's time for somebody else to win, but if I got to put money on it, it's probably Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I would say the exact same thing. So besides Liv Morgan, for me, I really would love to see Alexa Bliss win. Like, if Alexa Bliss won and that set up Bliss and Rhea Ripley, I'd be so happy. I know off camera we've been talking a lot about the Wyatt Six or lack of Wyatt Six. So maybe, who knows, Alexa Bliss wins, turns heel with the Wyatt Six, and then they do some creepy stuff to get the title. Who knows? But yeah, it's definitely like being touted to see Liv and Rhea once again. That's like a year and a half worth of matches. So to your point, it might be a bit, I guess, a bit of repetition in there.
Now we're talking WWE here, so we're talking drama, we're talking interference. If there's going to be interference in this match, do you see Dom coming out and getting involved?
I think he has to. Like, there's going to be some form of Dominic Mysterio. I wouldn't even say Judgment Day at this point. I don't think Finn Balor wants anything to do with this match, but I think Dominic Mysterio, we might see old chain cutters in there to get in the match. Maybe he like climbs up and just burrows through some hole that's mysteriously there all of a sudden. You never know. It would be cool to see him interfere and then cost Liv Morgan by mistake. You know, he inadvertently gets her hit with some finisher, and then he just has to stand there and watch because he can't obviously touch the women. So that would be interesting as well. Do you think he's going to make an appearance?
I assume he will. It's Dirty Dom. Like, he's what else has he got to do? He's not fighting, so he doesn't seem to have many other storylines going on other than this. So might as well get him in there.
I could also see on top of that, I guess JD McDonough and Finn Balor and even Carlito coming down and being like, what are you doing to Dominic? It's like, she could win it without you. And then that whole bust up with like the whole Judgment Day faction leads to Liv Morgan getting pinned as well. Could be something to look at.
Yeah, Judgment Day seems to be in a little bit of an issue right now. We got some injuries and they're wanting to bring in another member, but some people do and some people don't. So yeah, I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, it'll be, I mean, you never know. Maybe WrestleMania, we get like a Judgment Day Fatal 4-Way match or something at this point.
Okay, so speaking about Judgment Day, we've got a Judgment Day member in the main event, which is the men's Elimination Chamber match. And look at that.
Yeah.
You get to see this in person. I am so jealous.
I cannot wait to go.
We got John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth freaking Rollins. And it seems like the winner is going to take on Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be a match, to say the least.
So one of those guys doesn't belong.
Yeah, according to Drew McIntyre. Logan Paul's the odd one.
I only see 5 people. It's supposed to be 6.
I know. I don't know why. Okay, that's interesting graphic teams there. But I will say, though, like, John Cena, the headline, he already announced this a month ago after Royal Rumble that he was coming. He's back. He's going to be in the Elimination Chamber. He's going for that 17th world title. But these 5 people stand in his way. And I will say, like, all jokes aside, I feel like it should be 5-on-1. Like, who would want, like, in story, these guys should be like, you know what? John Cena has come in. He's very entitled. He thinks he could just waltz around. We need to get rid of him. Obviously, I don't think that's going to actually happen. And there's a lot of storylines within this whole storyline. I think Logan Paul coming to him, definitely the biggest controversy is that he's in this match.
Yeah, I think so, too. If there's no interference and no wire cutters and no one breaking into the ring, which we'll talk about after, who do you think wins this one?
Oh man, it's so hard not to say John Cena, but like, I feel like I could see every one of these guys costing the other one to win. And I think John Cena is the only one that doesn't really have that beef. Like, Seth Rollins would rather see CM Punk lose before see himself win. Same with Drew McIntyre. I feel like every one of these guys would rather one of them not win as long as it meant Logan Paul didn't make it to WrestleMania. Priest is kind of the wild card here. He doesn't really fit into any of these guys' current stories, which is totally fine. But like, oh man, I gotta go with John Cena, honestly. I think in the grand scheme of things, right, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, I'd be like okay with that. We might bring up that point again later on in the show, but sticking to this match right now, if this leads to Cena and Cody Rhodes main event night 2, it would make sense whether he won or lost. To me, I'd be upset if he lost, obviously. I could see Rollins fighting CM Punk maybe at WrestleMania again. I know they've done that a bit before. I could see Logan Paul getting another match that isn't this championship match. But with John Cena, outside of fighting Cody Rhodes, like, I don't know what he would do at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I think it's going to be John Cena.
Yeah,
my heart is for CM Punk.
Yeah,
I think you and I both thought for sure CM Punk was going to win the Royal Rumble. He didn't. He got thrown out by Logan Paul. So obviously now there's a little bit of beef between him. Drew McIntyre doesn't like Logan or CM Punk. Seth Rollins doesn't like CM Punk. So you feel like CM Punk would probably be the first one out, maybe.
Yeah.
But also, like, the storyline built up before this with him and Cody Rhodes, for that just to go nowhere doesn't make a lot of sense, because that was a really good story that had a couple of shows. We know CM Punk needs to finish his story. He's never main evented at WrestleMania. I'd really like to see CM Punk win, but I think John Cena's probably going to win.
Yeah, I think it has to be John Cena, and I think maybe SmackDown gave us some more insight to why it could be John Cena, which we'll get to. But yeah, honestly, like, it's his last hurrah. It's his last time he's ever going to be in these matches, so you might as well just take it while we can.
Now, there's 3 rumored appearances from superstars that we haven't seen in a while. We talked about Randy Orton earlier. The next one is Roman Reigns.
Yep, the tribal chief
Does
himself.
Roman Reigns show up at the Elimination Chamber? Does he rip the door off without wire cutters or bolt cutters? And does he drag Seth Rollins out by his hair?
So if he does come back, then yes, I'm going to switch my answer from before, and I think that's going to happen. I don't see Roman Reigns getting put on the shelf for a month by Seth Rollins coming back and not having his say.
Yeah.
I think that would set up a WrestleMania one-on-one match that they desperately need to have.
Yeah.
But, like, you could tell that he hasn't been there. I feel like the vibes have been a bit different since he's been gone. I feel like we said that around this time last year too. And I just think that Seth Rollins, as good as he is, like, I can't watch wrestling and think that Seth Rollins is going to put this guy out for a while. So if he does return, I think, he's going to rip that door off. He's going to just just kill Seth Rollins. Like, I almost swore there. He's going to beat Seth Rollins. And then from there, we're going to see them fight at WrestleMania. But if he doesn't show up, I wouldn't be too upset, even though I am going live. I would prefer him to just be in the match, honestly. But if I hear his theme song hit, I'm going to go crazy for sure.
I think he's going to be there. I think he has to be there. I just think last time we saw him, Seth Rollins stepped on his head, hurt him. And I just think he wants Seth. And I think we just need it. I think, like, at WrestleMania, we have to have Roman Reigns with Seth Rollins.
Yep. And I think in the grand scheme, like, I think Roman could get over CM Punk eliminating him if he ended up fighting Seth Rollins in the end.
And I think, too, if CM Punk doesn't win this, then maybe we do get that 3-way match, which it's been rumored to have CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. I don't know if we need all 3 of them, but definitely having 2 of them with Roman Reigns involved would be really cool. Even if it's Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, like,
you just give us one of the 2.
Just give us Roman Reigns fighting somebody.
Yeah, amen to that.
So there's one more rumored appearance. It doesn't seem to be linked to any matches, but there is a little bit of steam behind it, and that's Goldberg showing up.
Ooh,
so Goldberg has been talking. He's saying he's going to retire in 2025. He thinks he still has one more match in him.
Yep.
We did see him a couple months ago. Him and Gunther had a little bit of a chit-chat
that was funny.
Outside of the ring. Some insults were thrown back and forth. Do you see that happening?
I could see, you know what I could see? I could see Goldberg making one of those appearances where, actually similar to what he did at the other pay-per-view. Just, he's there, not really there to, I guess, progress a current storyline where they just have some banter, for lack of better words. But I think this time maybe he's going to interact with his future opponent. I think first thought, it has to be Braun Breaker. I think that would be an amazing way for this guy to go out. But whoever it is, I think maybe, just maybe, if we see Goldberg this Saturday, then we're going to see that final opponent. I respect Goldberg. He's been doing it for like 30 plus years now. He's obviously like, I don't know if I would call him a legend of the game, because I know a lot of wrestlers don't like him. But this guy's a draw. At the end of the day, like, he's one of the most, I guess, well-known figures in wrestling, whether you like him or not. I'm not a huge fan of him per se, but I do admit that once his music hits, like, I go crazy. So I think maybe, just maybe, we get that tease to that final match, and I'm kind of happy that he knows that his time is done. As much as, like, I do respect him, I would hate to see this guy just tarnish his legacy and fight for the next 5 years. So So it's good that he is kind of closing that window. Yeah.
Not a great wrestler, but a good brawler.
Yeah, amen to that. Do you want to see, would you love to see him this weekend? Or?
I don't think so. Yeah. I don't know if we need to see him again, honestly. Like you said, good hype man. Like when he'd come in the ring and he'd spear somebody, that was really cool. But if you watched any of his matches, not a good wrestler. Couldn't really wrestle good. And then he's not very much liked, right? So I think we're in the Triple H era, and it's like, let's thank people for what they did and get them out of here. So maybe Triple H lets them have one more hurrah and he has one last fight. I don't really know why the rumors have him showing up in Toronto. I don't know, like, Gunther's not there. I don't think Braun Breaker's there either, so I don't know why, but maybe he's attending for some reason. Maybe he's in the area. I don't know. So.
Yeah, and like, we're obviously Canadian. Bret Hart, we love him.
Yep.
So he's not going to get a reception here. Like, if anything, he might get booed, to be honest. So, to your point, I don't know why Toronto and Goldberg are kind of coinciding right now, but who knows? You never know.
Okay, there's one last known appearance at the event on Saturday, and that is The Rock.
Oh, man, the final boss.
The final boss.
We got so hyped on SmackDown seeing this guy come back.
So we saw him on SmackDown. It was pretty awesome. It was super weird. It was slightly confusing, but it was still super awesome. What's your thoughts?
I actually loved the segment. So I know a lot of people online didn't, but here's what I will say. I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan, huge Bloodline fan. So when Cody Rhodes took the title off Roman Reigns, I hated it. And we said that Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes was Cody's best work, and that was over 300 days after he won the title. So it took us almost a year for Cody to do something meaningful. So because that's kind of in the air, his first real storyline / match since then is now The Rock coming back and telling Cody Rhodes, I want you to be my champion. It's a little weird, but here's the thing, right? A lot of wrestling storylines have this. We saw Stone Cold and Vince McMahon kind of go back and forth in the 90s. Recently in the 2010s, we saw Seth Rollins be Triple H's corporate champion, and it just elevates the stars. I don't think Cody Rhodes necessarily needs a Rock co-sign to be great. He's obviously one of the most well-known names, face the company, but his title run has been lackluster. And, I feel like every single time we talk about his opponents, whether it was Logan Paul, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, we just like the opponent even more. I don't think any of us had that kind of take when it came to Roman Reigns. If we see a corporate champion, Cody Rhodes, maybe dyes his hair black again, goes full heel, and that's who fights John Cena at WrestleMania, that would be pretty cool to see.
I don't see Cody losing his title anytime soon. I think he's done a good enough job, but also not an amazing job. But for him to keep his title, he's got to change something. And the easiest thing is changing his look. Dark hair, he becomes bad Cody Rhodes. He's with the final boss. They go wrecking the roster and doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing. And The Rock's in charge, right? Like he tells us over and over and over, I'm on the board of TKO. I'm the boss. I'm in charge. So they can break rules and do whatever they want. Seems cool. Also, like, outside of the WWE world, they still want to build stars and make future Rocks and future movie stars. So how do you get Cody bigger and get him out of WWE? You put him beside The Rock, you get him some attention, he gets on the news, he gets on the late night shows, which he's been on, and he gets a little more exposure, and then maybe we start seeing Cody Rhodes in some movies. Gonna have to put some makeup on that tattoo because that's not going to go over well in the movies. But I think that's probably what we're looking at, is they're probably trying to turn Cody Rhodes into a megastar. And bring him up higher to like where Roman Reigns kind of is too, right?
And just backpacking off that point, we did see that with Roman Reigns. And over the last 4 years, just built up. He was the face of not just the company, but like global superstars were recognizing Roman Reigns. There's even like a trend online that all the sports teams were acknowledging Roman Reigns. So it's like, he is a megastar, and I don't think Cody Rhodes is yet. So to everything you just said, I think The Rock would be perfect for this guy to, I guess, elevate. I'm not going to say that I love it and want to see it, but if that's what we're working with, then I'm okay with it. Personally, I still want Roman Reigns to get the title back eventually. I was predicting this summer at SummerSlam. If this leads to anything, it probably won't happen now, which I'm okay with if this is why. But 300 days in for him to have his first, I guess, notable moment was a little much. And I feel like this is the best way to pivot. Obviously, we know The Rock's doing a ton of movies, and he's not going to be on screen for most of this. But when he's on screen, I feel like the presence is going to be there. And I think corporate Cody Rhodes, or maybe TKO Cody Rhodes, it's going to be a good part of the story. So fingers crossed he just accepts it. If he doesn't accept it, then I don't know what's going to happen.
I think we're like 99.9% that he's accepting it. I don't see any way that they just kind of messed up like the final boss story to then have him say no, because a lot of people are upset that they're sharing Terramana together. I don't know what he's putting in there. Clearly brainwashing Cody.
Yeah.
Cody's wife posted on her Twitter a broken heart after the event.
Oh.
So I'm assuming that we're going for it.
Yeah.
We're going in. We're going to have year 1 champion Cody with his blonde hair, and he's the good guy. And year 2, Cody's going to be dark-haired bad Cody. So we're going to see this Cody back again.
I know, finally.
So that seems like that's it for Elimination Chamber in Toronto. You're going to have an absolute blast.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
And then tonight on Raw, they've announced a bunch of the matches. So we've got appearances from CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Logan Paul.
Okay.
So going to kind of make a little storyline there. Obviously, Seth still hates CM Punk or Phil Brooks. Logan Paul, nobody likes him, and he's got a little bit of beef with CM Punk right now too.
Yep.
Rhea Ripley is going to deliver a message to Io Sky.
Oh, okay.
What do you think that's
I actually have
on there?
No idea, honestly.
So I was like, okay, whatever. We're going to see WWE Heavyweight Champion Gunther. He's going to speak tonight.
Okay.
So
I was kind of Jey Uso promo.
Maybe the Goldberg thing was a mistake, and maybe Goldberg's showing up tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to call out Goldberg. Maybe that's why Goldberg shows up at Elimination Chamber. I don't know. New Day versus LWO.
Okay, yeah, that'll be pretty solid. I want to see the New Day, I guess. I want to see them speak, but they never get a chance to because they always get booed out of the building. Yeah. But I feel like their matches are always good, so I'm excited for that.
Then we got a 3-way match between Penta, Ludwig Kaiser, and Pete Dunne.
Oh, that'll be good.
Always down for seeing Penta.
Yep.
Penta was on Sheamus' show, and they were doing some concentration curls, and Sheamus looked at his bicep, and he's like, what's wrong? And he has a torn bicep for 3 years.
That's insane.
Just hasn't gotten it fixed, just keeps fighting with it. Penta's wild.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And then we've got 2 women's championship fights tonight.
Oh, nice.
We've got the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota Kai.
Oh, that'll be good.
Lyra's the champion. Do you see a flip of the title there?
Okay, you know what? I kind of do. Yep. And I'll say this with the most respect, because I love Lyra Valkyria. I've barely seen her on TV since she's won the title.
Yep.
And I also thought Dakota Kai should have just won. She beat Io Sky, makes it to the finals, then loses to Lyra. Wasn't too sold. Maybe they've realized their mistake and they're just going to give Dakota Kai the title.
And then the final match is a women's tag team championship match. Bianca Belair and Naomi, who are the current champions, fighting Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah, that'll be good. And I know I mentioned their turmoil earlier on in the show. We think we know who attacked Jade Cargill.
Yep.
And they've been teasing that. They think it's Liv and Raquel.
Okay.
But we haven't heard from Jade Cargill, and canonically she hasn't been texting them back.
Okay.
Maybe, just maybe, Jade Cargill comes back tonight.
Okay.
Or maybe it's one of those ones where it's a no contest and then Jade Cargill comes back this weekend. But that's definitely one to look out for sure.
And then Bianca and Naomi are in the Elimination Chamber, which you would think they have a big advantage. They might work together. Yeah. But something could happen tonight that makes them not work together.
Yeah, exactly. It would be kind of cool to see the Judgment Day win those titles. Let's on a random Raw before the pay-per-view. So hopefully, we get some good matches. But for sure, Dakota Kai, I think she goes over tonight.
Awesome. And then Friday Night SmackDown is in Toronto, I think at the Air Canada Centre.
Yes.
I think. I haven't seen anything announced for that. Probably not too much going to happen. A lot of talking, a few storylines.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Elimination Chamber?
I'm just very excited. I think the Rumble was a good pay-per-view, but I think it was good.
Yep.
Wasn't great, wasn't bad. I think this has potential to be great. You always want to hit Rumble and Chamber off really strong because it's the build-up to Mania. And I think there's so many questions to be asked about this pay-per-view in the best possible ways. Who's going to win this? Who's going to lose that? Who's going to pin who? Who's going to do what? So I think because there's so many questions, and I think every outcome is pretty solid, I think the event's going to be really good. And I just hope that they do it right. I really hope in the end it's not some Logan Paul is now going to WrestleMania to fight Cody Rhodes. I hope Cody Rhodes himself doesn't say no to The Rock. It's they have a lot of good stuff on the table, and I hope they just take it in full stride.
What I'm excited about is we know it's not just going to be matches, and I think that's the best thing about WWE is it doesn't just need to be matches.
Yes.
The stuff behind the scenes, the stuff you see someone in Gorilla, you see someone backstage, that's the stuff that really adds to it. They've had a couple events recently where it was just 4 fights, show's over, we're done. Look how good SmackDown was this week. You had a bunch of stuff backstage, you see people talking.
Yep.
The storylines are almost bigger than the fights.
Exactly.
Some people actually watch the storylines and don't watch the fights. They care about the results because it leads to the storylines. But too many times I think they do pay-per-views or they do main events where it's just fight, it's done, and we don't see what we actually see on the shows, which is what people see. So I'm hoping we get some backstage stuff. We're obviously going to get The Rock and Cody Rhodes. They're not fighting. The Rock says that you can have these things without fighting, so I don't think we're ever going to see them fight. We got rumors of people showing up, interfering, which is what we want, what we expect. So I just hope there's a lot of like some people in the crowd and stuff happening, some backstage stuff happening. I just hope there's a lot of like excitement and not just fights. So
and like the fact that it's going to be Rogers Center in Toronto, huge venue. It's like this is the time for that to happen. So fingers crossed. We're talking about an amazing event whenever we record next, because I think it'll be really good.
Now, who do you think is going to be in the crowd? It's in Toronto. We got any Raptors who are big WWE fans? Do you think Drake's a big WWE fan? Who are you going to see?
Oh, man, I'd love to see, like, Scotty Barnes of the Toronto Raptors, maybe RJ Barrett as well. I don't know if the Leafs players are going to make an appearance, because I couldn't tell you what their schedule is as well. It would be cool to see some musicians, whether it's Drake. I don't think The Weeknd would come. He's a bit too big for that. He'll be at WrestleMania, if anything. But yeah, there's definitely celebrities. I would love Bret Hart. I know we've kind of seen him a lot recently, but if he was there, that'd be pretty cool. And then I would say Trish Stratus, but she's fighting. So I'll take that any day of the week.
Something we didn't mention, actually, that I just thought about now. When was the last time we had a main event with two Canadians fighting? Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Oh, yeah.
Two Canadians in the main event. That's pretty awesome.
That is.
I don't even know the last time that would have happened.
Yeah, honestly, off the top of my head, I actually cannot tell you. That's like a nice like trivia question right there. It is probably those two. If we're being honest, they probably did main event a show. Because recently I cannot think of anyone else. Yeah, there you go.
And you know Kevin Owens is going to come out with some Canadian gear on.
Oh yeah,
play the home crowd.
Yeah. So. Or he'll troll us and he'll put on Montreal Canadian stuff because he's from Montreal. And be in Toronto. I couldn't blame him honestly, but I could see him doing that.
Awesome. Any final thoughts?
No, honestly, I think that was it. That was honestly a great show. I'm happy to be back.
I'm so pumped for you to go to this event. I can't wait to see pictures and hear about it. Are they doing like a fan event or like anything before?
Yeah, they are on all 3 days actually, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I might try and take a look to see if I could go to one of those. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for today. Enjoyed being back here to record, and I think it's going to be like a great PLE for sure. Okay, cool. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in. This has been Riot Rumble. I've been Justin. That's been Dan. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure you catch us live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca.